Okay, so I will invite Mr. Biselli. And if anybody's keeping track of our agenda, this is the keynote speaker, and then we will have our vote, and then we will party.
Ready to do this?
Yeah, man.
Ready to do this?
I'm always ready.
Ready to have some fun?
What am I going to do?
We're gonna get after it.
You're going to do that.
We got a couple housekeeping items first. Traverse City, how are ya? Traverse City, how are ya? You've been sitting for a while. Here's what I need first. I need everybody to stand up. Come on, stand up. Because we're going to get real serious real quick, and we're going to cause a hell of a lot of trouble over the next 20 minutes. I need you to turn to somebody you don't know, give them a big high five, and let them know, let's do this. People in the back, standing by the doors, I need your help. I need your help. Open those doors. Let the people know in the foyer to get in here. We need them. Casey, we need you. Come on in. All right, now we can take our seat. Buckle up, because we're about to have quite a bit of fun. Casey, we need you. Come on in, brother. Excellent. We just built some community. How about that? Hi, Casey. Good to see you. I just wanted you in the room, man. You're one of our key leaders here. I needed somebody to throw something at me as well, so glad you're in here. So before I dive in, we talk a little bit about all the trouble that we're causing in Denver, Colorado. You already heard a little bit from Scott. I want to level set a little bit. Health tech might be a new term to some of you. Some of you may not be in healthcare, but at the end of the day, this industry touches every single one of us. So let's quickly define what health tech is and the things that we're seeing coming into this industry. We heard about patient engagement technologies like Scott, chatbots, AI, predictive analytics, blockchain, big data, wearables, right? Electronic health records, diagnostics. Think about all of those technologies. For you established players, or for you folks in this room that are on the established side of this industry, the payers and the providers, get ready. Because these technologies are going to come at you whether you like it or not. Mark my words. There are two big industries left in our nation for technology to completely topple: education and healthcare. And I've now made it my life's mission to get the tsunami to shore as fast as possible for health tech innovation to come and upend this industry that's bankrupting our country. But here's the key. This industry is so complex, it is going to take every single one of us, from administrators to providers to clinicians to the technologists to even the patient, to community leaders and everything in between, academic partners, I can go on and on and on. We are now spending over $3 trillion a year in this country, with not even some of the best outcomes on the planet. And this industry is trending to 5 in the next 9 years. Ladies and gentlemen, this is unsustainable. And we can do so much better as a country. And you're going to hear a little bit about my story, why I get so passionate about this, because I know we can do this. And the way we're going to do it is by doing it together. From Fortune 100 down to that woman with an idea on a napkin and everything in between. Private enterprise, government, academia, nonprofits. Ladies and gentlemen, brace yourself. We will even have the patients involved. I know, wild idea. Wild, right? But what am I here to talk to you about? So I've been here since Monday. Scott and I flew in yesterday and had an unbelievable time in your community. You guys are on the precipice of something massive in this community. Massive. From your academic partners that took the stage tonight, to the foundation, to Munson Healthcare. I had a chance to have dinner with Ed, their president, last night. To the Rotary Foundation, to Stryker, who was in the room last night, to all of you. You have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to define greatness for this community. Why? It is going to take every single community around this country to knock down the ivory tower that is the orthodoxy of our current industry. Because if we don't, I believe it can put our country on its knees. So let me talk to you a little bit about the trouble that we're causing in Denver and how I hope the story that's being written in real time by leaders like Scott and others can inspire you here in northern Michigan to jump in the boat with us, because as I mentioned, it's going to take this entire country. Put my money where my mouth is. Don't be shy. Reach out to me. There's my email. I tweet a lot. Get on there as well. And I'm also going to read from a blog post tonight. You can find that blog that I'm going to read from at mikebiselli.com. Played off a little bit of words here. You guys are obviously known for the automotive industry. And if we're going to drive towards innovation, who's riding shotgun with you? Because it takes partnerships and collaboration. It takes tearing down the silos between all the stakeholders to move this industry forward. Who's riding shotgun with you? Whether you be a massive payer or a provider or a one-person startup, who's riding shotgun with you? And don't take my words for it. These are the new realities of business. We have to work together. Richard Branson's blog says it. The new form of competition in business is collaboration. I think he knows what he's talking about. He's built a hell of an empire. And this guy, if you haven't read his book, buy it tonight before you get out of this hall. Steve Case, the founder of AOL. He has predicted the future a few years ago in this book. It completely blew my mind. He says the next big wave of business is partnerships and collaboration. And of course, Tony Zay from Zappos, who was bought by Amazon for several $1 billion, he's now building a retail innovation district in Las Vegas that is bringing together the startups and the big players together under one roof. And he states, when you create the opportunity for meaningful collisions, just like we had tonight, just like I had today at 20 Fathoms working out of there, those are the moments when innovation occurs, and just watch out as the best things happen. Why is all that important to what I'm about to share with you? Let me give you a little bit of backdrop. So myself, I've been in healthcare my whole career. Before I got into this industry, I was very fortunate to be the first one in my family ever to touch foot on a college campus by way of a football scholarship to Stanford University. And how I was able to achieve that was through the power of community and the power of teams. My dad laid asphalt. My mom was a janitor. No one in my family touched a college campus. Do you think a kid like me is supposed to go and play football at Stanford University and walk out of there with a bachelor's and a master's degree? No. But because of the power of community, anything is possible. And as a quick aside, to not alienate anybody in this room, I bet you with what I'm about to say, we're all going to come together with what I'm about to tell you. For all you Michigan and Michigan State fans in this room, I was fortunate enough to kick a game-winning field goal against Notre Dame. Now, hey, we can get all around that, can't we? We can all get around that. And to you Notre Dame fans in here, I'm sorry, but I was the guy that got Bob Davie fired, so I apologize. But in 2011, I moved to Denver. I grew up by the mountains in northern Nevada, and after I hung up my cleats and played in the NFL for a little bit, I said, I need to be in a city very close to mountains. That's my sanctuary. So I'm going to go check that Denver out. Moved there in 2008, and then 2011, I jumped off the entrepreneurial cliff and built my first startup. Why is that important? Think about the time in the history of our nation, 2011. Two big things happened. Affordable Care Act came online, and we're coming out of the recession. And we started noticing entrepreneurs like Scott and others moving into Denver and building health, wellness, and health tech-related type of companies because at the time we were the healthiest state in the union. We had folks like Jesse Wolf, who was with us at the Colorado Health Foundation, who's now in your community, here at the Community Foundation, investing in companies just like Scott's. We had everybody rallying around the table to help build this healthcare innovation cluster. From the giants, to folks like Kaiser, to startups, to venture capitalists, to our academic partners. Anybody that was excited to move healthcare forward as an industry in our community had a seat at the table. And that started with a nonprofit which was called Prime Health. You can look them up at primehealthco.com. And it was a de facto meetup group that was sponsored by our Economic Development Office that brought these thought leaders together. And that's the moment that we started noticing our healthcare innovation community taking flight, just like I saw over the past couple days here. So I dove in, I was helping build this community, and then 2013 happened. Literally the very last day of 2013, I sold that startup to a PE group in Southern California. And then the aha moment occurred for what I'm about to share with you with what we're doing today. I went down to Mexico for a few weeks to debrief and spend time with my family. But I really wanted to debrief with myself and figure out, what am I going to do next? And I made a commitment to myself. I said, I'm not going to go and build just another startup. I've already done that. Mission successful. I want to be the guy to send a shockwave through this industry. The provocateur that this industry needs. The guy throwing chairs through the window, flipping the tables, and letting this industry know no longer can what we've been doing stand. I had no idea what that was going to turn into, but that's what I was going to commit myself to, because we are bankrupting this country with one single industry that's now over 20% of our GDP. And so I came back to Denver and I said, how am I going to act on that? What am I going to do? And I remembered my time in a co-working space like Andy has and your community has at 20 Fathoms. It completely changed my startup, the trajectory of it, me personally and me professionally. The folks I got to meet, the people I got to get mentored by, it was a game changer. But I said, while I believe in the built environment and by putting wicked and smart people into the same environment, I wasn't going to go and build a co-working space for just startups. Because I firmly believe we will not reimagine healthcare off the backs of startups alone. It ain't going to happen. It's too complex. And sure as hell, the established players aren't going to do it either. They're making too much money. But I said, we got to do it together. From the biggest of the big to the smallest of the small and everything in between. And so I came up with this idea in my head. I said, I want to build a healthcare innovation campus where every single day hundreds of people are amassed under one roof, from the giants to the woman with that idea on a napkin. Academic partners, nonprofit, the state, the city, anybody passionate about moving our industry forward has a seat in this building.